Hello guys, welcome to the second lesson. Today we are going to learn how to ask some questions in Tamil. So let's begin. So we will be seeing questions like who, what, when, where, why, and also how. We will see how to ask these questions in Tamil and also see some examples. The first word, who. Who in Tamil it's yaru. Yaru. You need to pay a little attention in saying yaru and not yaru. You should really pronounce both the A's. You need to stress the A's over here and say yaru. If you say yaru as if there is one A, it's not the exact way you pronounce it. So which makes yaru. If you're having problem with the A's over here, don't worry. I will make in another video where I will explain why it's important to stress the pronunciation over here and you will picturize the difference in a better way. So let's go to the example. Some examples for who. Yaru neenga. Neenga is you in Tamil. And that too in Tamil, just like in French, there is the system of vous voyez or tutoyer. So basically, you can say you in a respectful form for elders and professors, for example, and there is another you which is for your friends and family. Here, Ninga is the respectful way of saying you, and Yaru Ninga means who are you. If you want to say you for somebody close to your age, you can just say Yaru Ni. Just this, Yaru Ni. For these two type of you, I will make one more video out and out only on this topic, so you can spend more time to learn about it. And one more example with yaru idu. If you saw the first video on this channel, you should know that idu means this and adu means that. So yaru idu is who is this. And the next W word, what. What in Tamil it's enna. Enna. It's pretty simple. And for the examples, enna seyya. Seydal, it's a verb which translates to do something. Enna seyya translates into what can I do. Here you can also add the word nan before. Nan is I, and it would make nan enna seyya, what can I do. Even if you don't say the word nan, if you just say enna seyya, it still means what can I do. And then another example, enna venum. If you just ask enna venum, it translates into what do you want in English. Here also in the beginning, actually we didn't wrote the word which means you, but still just with these two words it forms a question. If you want to write the word you in the beginning, you can write the following word, unakku. Unakku means for you when used alone, but here in this question, unakku enna venum makes what do you want. And unakku, it should be used with your friends. If you want the formal way of saying for you, it's ungalukku. So you can either say unakku enna venum or ungalukku enna venum depending on the person with whom you are speaking with. without writing the pronoun, when you just ask, when you just say enna venum, it still makes what you want. And one final example with this one. Neram enna. Neram is time. So neram enna means what is the time. Okay, moving on to the next one. When. When in Tamil it's eppo. Eppo. So this is the colloquial word. You can also see people saying eppa, but to make it simple, I would suggest you to remember eppo because it's used by a large number of people. And these two words over here are formal way of saying when. So எப்பொழுது, எப்பொழுது or எப்போது. Both these words are formal way of saying when. Normally you wouldn't find these words spoken in a conversation. It's always mostly eppo or eppa. Even though everybody knows it, understands it, it's mostly for literature. So if you're reading books and if it's written in the standard Tamil form, then there is a good chance that you see these words written for when. But when you're speaking, simply say eppo. Don't be afraid if you feel like there's too many words here. Just remember eppo, eppo, and it should be fine. And for an example, eppa polam. Polam is for the verb go. Eppa polam, just these two words, means when can we go. You can also say Nanga eppa polam. Nanga is for we, or else if you just say eppa polam, it still means when can we go. The next word, where, in Tamil it's enga. And for example, avan is he, enga avan, where is he. Okay, and the next word, why. Why is yen, yen. And here also, just like the beginning for yaru, you need to stress over the pronunciation in between and say yen and not yen. Yen, it's another word in Tamil and it means number. So if you want to ask why, you should stress over the pronunciation here in the E and say yen. And one example, yen ippa. Ippa is now. It's more of a colloquial way of saying now. And just like before for eppa, when, for ippo also you can find people saying ippa. But if you just remember ippo, it should be fine. And the formal word is ippoludhu, just to give an example. And if you know ippo, maybe since it's more similar to ippoludhu with the O. If you're reading a book with a formal Tamil version in it, then you will most likely find the word ippoludhu and not ippo. But during a conversation, you can just say ippo. And actually nobody really say ippoludhu in an oral, so ippo is just fine. And then here comes the last word, how. How is eppadi. We saw this in the last video. How is eppadi. And how are you? An example, eppadi irukka. If you want to ask this to your professors, for example, you should say eppadi irukkinga. Irkinga is the respectful way of saying are you. Let's summarize all this a little bit to make it easier. Who is yaru? What enna? When eppo? Where enga? Why ஏன்? How எப்படி? And of course you can use these questions all along, like just like in English, when you want to ask who, what, when, you can ask yaru, enna, enga, eppo, etc. I hope that helped, and don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. And I will come up soon with another set of videos. Continue learning and good luck.